okay, 3 days ago, I got a government job. So officially, I'm a civil servant. I'm on our way to work. It's afternoon and it's raining again. Imagine, I just have the feeling that today's shift is not going to be overwhelming. It's not going to choke. I just have that feeling because of this rain. Ìyanu Ọlọ́run ọba, ìyanu Ọlọ́run ọba, ìyanu Ọlọ́run ọba òun lẹ ó, ìyanu Ọlọ́run ọba òun lẹ ó máa rí. One funny thing happened on our way. At some point on our way, it started raining heavily. But when we got close to work, we found out everywhere is dry. Obviously, everywhere is dry here. It never drizzled. Not talk of raining here. Isn't God wonderful? So we have resumed work, a 6-hour shift this afternoon with the 4 kids. So I'm going to tell you how I transitioned from community pharmacy to hospital pharmacy and how my experience has been like. I'm going to try and compare the two experiences, and I hope you enjoy this vlog. So I got a government job about 3 months and 2 days, okay, 3 days ago. I got a government job. So officially, I'm a civil servant. I've been a civil servant for the last 3 months and 3 days. So right now I'm at work and I'm taking over from Pharmacists' face. Let them see your face now. Okay, this is our yellow.
Yeah, so yeah. I'm here.
I'm taking over from her. So obviously it's not going to be overwhelming. Work is going to be work. Very, very simple. You know, go shock.
Okay, hello.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the
far. I've attended to a number of patients, mostly NHIS. They are mostly civil servants that I've attended to. So quickly, let me compare my experience in the community practice with my experience here in the hospital practice. So I'll be doing that based on like 3-4 points, based on the stress level, based on career progression, based on pay, based on influence. Just those 4 points. But before then, I said I'll be chipping in health tips. So in this vlog, I want to tell you that the best heritage you can leave for your child isn't money. Yes, money is good, but the best legacy I think you can give to a child is not building, it's not properties. Although properties are good, it gives them a spring, what's it called, bounce in life. I think the best legacy you can give any child is to vaccinate that child. So vaccines are here to protect anyone from future diseases. So it's important that you get your kids vaccinated, and as adults, there are some vaccines that are very crucial for us to have, for us to take as adults. Take for instance the hepatitis B vaccine. So if you haven't heard about it, I made a video on that. You can do well to check that video out. So get vaccinated against human papilloma virus, against meningitis, against tuberculosis. Yeah, it's important that you get vaccinated against, because some of us, some people, some adults have not been vaccinated. You don't have that mark on your arm, so it's important that you get vaccinated against TB. Prevention, they say, is better than cure. Excuse me. So let me quickly make my comparison. It's quite noisy here. There are people, chatting, chatting everywhere because we are not so busy. Like I said, I preempted that it was not going to be overwhelming, and obviously, work is not overwhelming. I'm just flexing. The kids are playing outside. One of them is someone is backing the youngest of the four kids that I brought to work. So let's talk pay. In community practice as a superintendent pharmacist, on the average, because young pharmacists are, we are we are shouting, we are clamoring for increase, a raise in our pay. So you shouldn't get below 150,000 naira. I can say, based on personal experience, community practice pays more than, there are so many factors that may affect the pay, whether you are doing locum or you're full time or you're superintendent. But I'm assuming that you're a superintendent, but because once you work in the hospital, you can't use your license elsewhere. So let me just compare superintendent in the community with hospital pharmacist. So as a superintendent, I said on the average you should be getting like 150. If you are being paid less, then you need to, revisit your agreement with your employer, because you are in 2022 and we know that the economy is not smiling at all. So you should, rebargain. Um, Although some people is job satisfaction that is keeping them in their jobs, is not because of money per se. But then for me, money, job satisfaction, family, everything has to come to play when I'm considering my career. So let me go to career progression now. I must be down to earth with you. That in both community and in hospital practice, I can't say any of them guarantees a professional or career progression. None of them, actually. None of them. Although I might want to say it depends on the hospital or the facility where you work. We have the primary health, the secondary health centers, and the tertiary. So how it works there. But I think as um, a pharmacist working in a teaching hospital, you should have career progression. You should be guaranteed career progression. Unlike primary and secondary, I'm not so sure there are courses, to upgrade. No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. Although in community practice, I had times when I attended seminars, conferences that, of course, helped bridge some knowledge gaps. And I really love community practice for that particular aspect. Aside the fact that we're going to be given item 7, we add to our knowledge. We added more to our knowledge banks. And so far in the hospital, I know there are some conferences that my bosses attend, but so far have not been opportune to, attend any conference yet, any seminar, none at all. So I can't really say you're guaranteed career progression in either hospital practice or community practice. So everything has to do with your personality. If you are the type that likes to learn, if you are the type that likes to bridge knowledge gaps, you can ask your superiors about what to do, what seminars to attend, and all of that. But as time goes on, I'm hoping that I'll be able to, attend one or two conferences or seminars before the year runs out. So let's talk about stress. Stress. Community practice is quite stressful. I know I once worked somewhere as a full time pharmacist for like 3 months, and I did alternate weekends, and I had to do 7:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. That's like roughly 14 hours shift, which is, it's draining, it's exhausting, and most times I wasn't eating right. I was, feeding on so much junks and all of that. And I wasn't as fat as this. When I got this job, just within 3 months I've added 3 kg, just because this is less stressful. And that's why everybody is praying to get a civil service job. Not really because of the pay, but because of the time it affords you to do other things. So um I have more time working in the hospital. I'm less stressed because you have quite a handful of people around, so the workload is not so much. And besides that, you run shifts like morning, afternoon, night, so you don't just work yourself out like that. You don't burn yourself out like that. So, lastly, what's that fourth point? To remind me. So talking about influence, influence I mean how you impact the people that are coming, the patients that you are attending to. And as I said, within hospital practice is like stereotyped. It's just one way. The patient brings the doctor's prescription. Sometimes you find errors while vetting the prescriptions. You write back to the doctor. So that's the most you can do in the hospital, and then you counsel. But in community practice, it's quite different because after the CEO or the MD, like you are next in command as the superintendent. So you have influence over your co-workers, I mean your the cashiers. So like I was saying, influence in community practice, you're like second to the MD, you are second to Oga, so you have influence and you have affluence. In fact, you are like number one to the patients because patients in the community are coming straight to you. You are their doctor, you are their laboratory scientist, you are their pharmacist, you are their everything. So basically, they regard you, and on a personal level, you relate more closely. In fact, I have patients from my last workplace who still call me. One of them still called me day before yesterday, describing his house. I must come to pay him a visit. He's one old grandpa like that. But in hospital practice, it's a multidisciplinary teamwork kind of. So you're not alone. The patient does not even see only you. We are like the last point of contact to the patients. Like after seeing the doctor, they must have done some tests, they must have run some tests, and finally they are coming to collect, pick up their prescriptions. So I like the last point of contact to the patient, and we have little or very, don't let me say no influence. You have very little influence on the patients. The only influence you have is basically to vet the prescription and make some corrections, and then counsel the patients. Other than that, bye bye. Besides that, a lot of patients coming to the hospital have more severe cases. So some of them don't even get time to start chatting with you. So they just want to get well and leave the hospital. And lastly, let me talk about job satisfaction. In terms of job satisfaction, maybe because of the time I spent on community field, maybe because of the time I spent, like, since I graduated, since I finished service, I've been in community practice. So for about 4 years, I've worked in the community. It has become a part of me. Like I've started enjoying it, even despite the hectic schedule. I was really, really enjoying. In fact, till last week, I was still enjoying community practice. Like when I got here, I found everything totally strange, from the people, the crowd, to the hierarchy, to the prognosing, a lot of things going on, especially in civil service, a lot of lackadaisical attitudes and all that. So I found them really, really off and strange, and I've had to adjust for like 3 months until, let's say, last week I started enjoying this hospital practice and all that. So thank you for watching this vlog. I hope to make an intro video for my vlog, and if you have any topic or anything you want me to talk about, to vlog about, you can please leave it in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be bringing you very interesting, very entertaining and informative vlogs henceforth. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.